Single family versus multifamily. What's a better investment? All right, guys, today I want to talk about single family homes versus multifamily. And when I say single family homes, I'm incorporating single family 1 unit up to 4 units. And when I'm talking about multifamily, I'm talking about 5+ units. I'm talking exactly about commercial property and what is a better investment. Where should you be? Where should your end game be? But before we get into it, a little bit about me. I'm Brenton Haynes. I'm a real estate advisor. I'm also a real estate investor. My background is with multifamily, so I'm going to be a little bit biased on this topic. My family, we own almost 900 units in the Los Angeles market. We've been in this business 60 years. I've been in this business 20 years. I'm very passionate about it. So let's dive in. Let's see, where is a great place for you to start as an investor, and where should your end game be, and what is better? What are the pros? What are the cons? So here we go. What is better, single family, 1 to 4 units, or multifamily? Well, first, let's dissect it a little bit. So single family, what are the pros and cons? Well, the big pro here for single family versus multifamily is that really easy entry point. We can get in 3% down, sometimes even less, depending on where we're at. If you're a VA, you can use a VA loan. You can get in 0 money down. And that's just a huge opportunity that just doesn't exist with multifamily. Number 2, there's so much product available. I mean, there's houses everywhere compared to apartment buildings. So you have a lot to choose from. There's opportunity there to find some really good deals as well because there's just a ton of product available. Let's talk about the number 1 con of residential properties, cash flow. So residential properties don't produce the cash flow as much as multifamily. And I'm going to get into that a little bit down the road in this video, but for right now, the biggest con out there is cash flow. All right, so let's look at multifamily. What are some of the big highlights, the pros of owning multifamily? Number 1, cash flow. It's going to cash flow a lot better. The second one is stability. So if you have one of your tenants move out on a 10 unit, 20 unit, or higher building, it's really not going to impact your cash flow as much versus a single family home. If someone moves out, you're going to pay that mortgage. That's cash right out of your pocket. A lot of times, even where values are at, your 3 and 4 units even have that same problem, depending on how quickly you can turn that unit over. Now, the 2 biggest cons of multifamily is it's a harder entry point. You got to have cash. For your multifamily, you're going to have at least a 25% down payment. Sometimes lenders are going to require more depending on where that cash flow is at. This building has to cash flow. The other negative part of it is there is less product available. So it's harder to find these good deals in multifamily, but trust me, they're out there and it's a great spot to be. Now, with that, single family home, so you have your entry level point is really easy compared to multifamily. So when I'm with my clients and they want to get into real estate investing, I always point them to the single family homes or 2 to 4 units. It's a great spot to get in early, low money in. You can make your mistakes without dramatically impacting your bottom line. It's not like we're out there dropping $500,000 on multifamily and you just totally blow it. We can get in 3% down, and we have time to kind of figure out our systems and the areas and our tenant base and how we're going to do it. And we have a good spot to park some money, get some appreciation, and then reposition ourselves either later on down the line into another single family or a 2 to 4, or if we're ready to jump into that 5+ unit commercial multifamily game. Now, for me, the end point should always be multifamily. Like I've said many times before, this game is a long-term game. We're not in it for quick money. We're not in it for a couple years and then we can retire. We're in it for the long-term gain. Now, if I can take that money from single family and start rolling it into larger multifamily properties, here's a great benefit. I get better cash flow. I have a property that's going to support on-site management. In our single family homes, I'm probably going to be managing that property myself. And the biggest deterrent on that is that emotional pull. I got a tenant, that's affected by life circumstances. And yes, I'm a good person. I want to help that person. And that property manager is going to help kind of create that barrier so I don't get sucked into that life drama. I'm buying property as an investment so I can grow my money. I'm not buying a nonprofit. Hey, there's nothing wrong with helping people. We do it all the time. We're very selective for those opportunities that we can help in and dive people. I can't help everyone, but if I'm in a single family, my opportunity, my skin is real thin on my profit margins. I really can't do a lot to help people out. So as I get into multifamily, I do have cash flow, but I have that management that creates that barrier for me. And I don't get sucked into that emotional draw. And that's what most of these real estate investor guys do when they compare single family and multifamily. They leave out this management equation, right? The multifamily truly supports the on-site management, and I think that's super critical in growing your money in these assets. Secondly, in multifamily, you have a better opportunity to control your appreciation. Now, they always say that single-family homes appreciate better and it's a better place for appreciation. And I kind of tend to disagree with that. But in real estate investing, the key is you always make your money in the buy. Okay, so if you have a value add property, you have an opportunity to appreciate your property with some rent increases. So you have more control over appreciation. You're just not riding the wave of where the market's going. That does affect it, but it's not the only factor. It's going to be based off the income of the property. And that's how multifamily commercial property is evaluated, is based off that income. What does it produce? What do the numbers look like? And if we can manipulate those numbers and get that rent up, get those expenses down, and do some great long-term CapEx projects that will keep those expenses down, then guess what? We've just added value to that property. We just had it appreciated in value, and then we can use that in a 1031 and springboard it into another property that we could do the same thing with. And then we can really get our money growing for us. And this is where generational wealth kind of begins to start to roll out and begin, that you have these assets now that are worth this value that you can hand off to the next generation. So guys, that's it in a nutshell. I'm always going to be biased towards multifamily. I want to be removed from those daily operations. I want to focus on big picture growth items. I want to be looking for that next deal and see how I can get my money working for me. So reach out if I can help you. I can help you get started. We can look at those single family homes, see how they pencil out. I have spreadsheets galore that will help you dive in those numbers and have a lot of fun projecting where cash flow and appreciation and what your tax liabilities will be, or what you're going to save in your tax liabilities, all the way up to those multifamily. I've done single family rentals all the way up to 100 plus units. Guys, the smallest building we own right now is 30 units. The largest is 150. We are just wrapping up on a 120 unit rehab project where we were able to create 40% vacancy in the building all through coronavirus and rehab those units. And now we're re-renting them for $200 more a door, per unit. And we're about 90% occupancy right now in getting that building back up to speed and really getting that cash flow where it would be. I would love to spend some time with you guys one-on-one, seeing what your unique needs are. And every investor is different. Every situation is different. There is no cookie cutter mold. So kind of ignore these real estate seminars and these gurus that are out there. Let's dive in and see what you're looking to do and how I can help. So my information's in the description below. Reach out to me or leave a comment. I would love to help you in any way I can. Hope you guys are having an awesome day, and we will see you on the next video.